So let's continue with where we were. Okay. So we are still on defining an area of interest. Defining an area of interest. So with this, we are trying to identify areas of price point that can be psychologically compelling for market participants to engage. And we already saw that exactly around around this area, this point, exactly around this point, we saw that there were reactions. We saw that there were reactions in the market. We've seen that there are reactions in the market. And if we put it in perspective, we can say that buyers took control or they were able to take charge from this point and moved or pushed the price up here. Okay. Now, we also saw that later around this point above here, we can see that sellers took control or are also in control around this point here. And that's how come they were able to push price down. But the important thing here is that we have about three important impulses or reactions happening here. And that makes this area an area that can be compelling for us to also want to engage in the market from this zone or areas. Okay. And according to if we are using support resistance, if we can see buyers consistently push price up here, then it means this place is looking to become or has become a support area. Okay. So what do we want to do? We want to look at the support zone. If the support is broken, then we know that sellers have taken charge of the support. If the support gets broken, okay, this is support. For support to be broken, it means sellers should engulf it. Okay, sellers should, from this candle up down here, sellers tried to engulf the support, break it. Then we got a retest of the support. Failing, the retest failing means that the support has now turned to be resistance. Okay, and then it pushed price down. Now price comes up for another time, thinking that there is the support turn resistance will hold so that it will push price down more, but that failed. And price was able to go above the support. Once it's above the support, buyers are in charge again. Buyers become active again. Okay, so the concept here is that according to the PSR, the concept is that buy above resistance and sell below support. But the normal idea is that we buy at support and we put our stop loss below the support and then we sell at resistance and put our stop loss above the resistance. According to this concept, we want to see that the resistance becomes weak so that we will now buy. We are flipping the whole idea upside. We are flipping the whole idea. Okay, so we have seen that there is resistance here, but we want to see that the resistance will become weak so that price will come to the same. resistance, stay above it, use it as support, and then it will now buy. Okay. Um, I'll find ways to say this again so that maybe it will make more sense. But at the end of the day, this can be a good place where you would find as a compelling area of interest, okay, to engage in the market. Don't all of you don't forget that we are still within a discount zone inside this whole range that we have framed. We are inside the discount zone. Okay. So in the discount zone, we have been able to identify an area of interest, which is this level inside the discount zone. And we know that below this area of interest here, which is now our PSR, we are going to be selling. And above it, we are going to be buying. But me, knowing that this area is a discount zone, I am not going to be looking for sales at all. I'm going to be looking for only buys. But I'm going to be looking for buys or holding my buys only when price is above the PSR or the resistance. Okay. And in this sense, we can see that buyers that were active here, active here, active here, that the market manipulated to make it seem as if sellers are now in charge. We can see price came back to activate the buyers, and the buyers are consistently in charge again. Okay, so anything from this point up is buys. Okay, so how long should these buys be? Number one, let me explain that. Number one, if we are looking to predict that this GBP USD pair should make us a new high, then that is how far this buy should go from this um, PSR. Okay, from this PSR, especially the how deep discount price has fallen. Okay, then this is how far price should go. But targeting up here doesn't make sense because it's going to take more than maybe 10 years or maybe 5 years to get up there. So it's better to target because this is the monthly time frame. It's better to target any other important levels. Okay, target the immediate levels. Okay, so um, the other thing is that if this pair is going to become bearish or is going to go bearish, then at least we must see price come up and it should fail to take out this high. It should come up and take out this, fail to take out this high. Okay, giving us something like a perfect either a head and shoulder, something like this. Maybe right shoulder somewhere here. Okay, we have a small right shoulder here, but maybe another right shoulder somewhere here. If this happens, we'll have like a morning star, high, higher, high, lower, high formation, and price can fall. Okay, so for price to sell, it must come up, but it should fail. It should do a failure swing, fail to give us a new high. So let's say somewhere here, price must come up here and fail in order to give us an opportunity to keep selling. Something like this. Okay. Now, let's say that we are looking for price to still sell. This is a previous lower high, which has been invalidated by this move downside. So we will need price to come back to premium anything above 50%, this zone, anything above 50%, in order for, oh, why is the thing changing? Okay. We will need price to come to premium, anything above 50%. So let's say we are just targeting, um, let's say we are just targeting 61.8 or even 78 here. Okay. Before price should drop and give us a new lower low. So with all these calculations or these anticipations in mind, I am getting all of you an idea of how far this buy should go if indeed it wants to buy. Okay? If indeed it wants to buy, at least it should buy into premium of this bearish range. Okay? So if I take it from either side, there is still a higher probability that this, if this is going to really buy, it will go far. Okay, but like I said, we want to look at the immediate areas of interest and then take profit at those areas as possible as we can. Okay, so now this area of interest has been utilized or is now active because the last time price came to this zone here, it's just tapped here and we can see a big move. We see one candle, two candles, three candles. Look at how big the candles are. And when you see this, what do you mean? What is the meaning of that? When you see impulsive moves like this, taking out up from an area of interest, what does it tell you? For me, it tells me that there is a likelihood that there is a hand of smart people or the big people at play. Okay. So, for example, what I will look for is any kind of imbalances along the way. So, I might be looking for any imbalance or any supply that has been deactivated. For example, this zone, this bearish candle was an area or point that price supplied to the downside. When the move happened, it crashed that supply. So it makes sense for price to come back to the same supply zone, utilize this area of imbalance. You see, there's an area of imbalance here, which is at the same point as the supply. It makes sense for price to come there, tap into it, and point up. Okay. So let me measure this range on the fib. I can see this is something, this is like drop down up, this is like 38.2% drop, which is okay, especially if this push to the upside is an impulsive one. This is okay to give price an opportunity to break up into the next zone where sellers are waiting to push price down. Are you all with me? Sellers
I,
are
I have a question
yeah, ask your question, please.
concerning this Fibonacci. Now we are reading that it retraced to 38 point something percent.
Mhm.
What if this retracement wasn't there? How will we know how long it will retrace? How do we know that the retracement will reach 61 or 78 or 38?
That's why it is there. But um, if it is not there, because there are a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people who don't use the fib. If
Mm-hmm.
it's not there, what are you looking for? You are looking for your imbalance. This is, you see
Mm-hmm.
one candle, two candle, second candle, third candle, big, big candles. The candles
Mm-hmm.
succeeded, this move succeeded in taking a previous high out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a
Mm-hmm.
previous high, which is a break of structure, though it's an internal break. But at the end of the day, where exactly do we think price is aiming towards? I think this, and that's one of the most important things you must ask yourself. Where is price going? Okay. Now we can see that price is above this the buyers here are now active and they are pushing price. In the past, when they pushed price from here, where did it go to? Is it not here? This area.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now that
It is
they are in charge again from the same point, where do you think they will push it to again? The same
the
place.
same point.
So the immediate place where price should get to before we will hope for sellers to show us their power is here. Because if it gets here, we will now watch what sellers will do. We are now going to watch what will happen. If price is able to sweep through here and close above all these sellers, that is going to be good. Because if we don't close above these sellers, price is never going to go up. These sellers
Yes.
must be crushed, taken out, in order for price to be more bullish to the top as we are predicting. So the first job for this move is to take these sellers out. How is it going to take them out? There should be a big bullish candle closing above this point, this point, this point. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Now, so without the fib, what you know is that without the fib, what you know is that there was a very big bearish candle here, and I can see there is also some kind of an imbalance here. There is a big candle here, okay, which means when price started buying from this point and it got to here, okay, it should have the sellers that were here that pushed the price down, they should have stepped in to cause price to sell from here back, but they were not able to do that. Okay, if we go on, let's go on a smaller time frame. Let's say the daily time frame. Good. This is it. So you can see the price bought to this point. This is the supply. You can see price hit this zone and it dropped. It sold. Okay, so the sellers pushed the price down. It's not like they didn't. They were able to push it down to this point, but it did not come much down. And then price took off again, went up, okay, and then it hit that top of the supply again here. Then they push it down again to here. Then from here, price now decided to take out the supply at all, like I mean, crash it. Okay, so all the sellers that were here that pushed this price down up to this point, okay, the they still had power. They still had power that when price got here, they pushed it down, but it was not enough. When even price got here up to them, they still pushed it down. It was still not enough, which means the buying power was very, very, very strong. Now, price buyers pushed the price up again, okay, and then price sellers push it down back. So let me ask you this question: if sellers are sitting here, they push the price down to this point. What will happen if buyers now take control of that point? What will happen?
When buyers take control from where?
What will happen if these sellers become inactive or if they are crashed? The
Mm,
sellers were at this exact point and they pushed the price down from
mhm,
here. They pushed the price down to here. Now,
mhm,
as price was going up, it got to the same area, but they couldn't do much. They pushed it down only a little. Then
mhm,
buyers pushed the price to go above the sellers.
mhm.
So above the sellers, what do you think will happen?
You continue to
Buyers will
buy.
take over.
Buyers will take over, correct? Which means that look at the line I'm drawing. Anything above the line I'm drawing right now is for buyers.
Mhm,
So you can see that when price moved above this line, which is the sellers, it came back to sit on that same line and moved up. Do you see this movement here?
mhm,
Do you see this? All of you
mhm.
say yes if you see, please. Yeah,
Yes, I've seen.
good. This means that here were sellers. Now we have indication above the sellers. So we use the sellers as power to become buyers or to buy. In other words, this was resistance. Now that resistance has been broken, above the resistance is it is going to now become support for price to go up. Okay. So now that we got this indication that above the sellers here there can be buys. Okay. Above the sellers here, we have now seen that okay, buyers can take charge based on this move to the upside here. We have seen that above the sellers, buyers can be in charge. Okay. Once you see that, there is another concept, there are some other concept that I will teach you, but that is in the step 3. It is called indication correction and continuation. Okay, indication
Mhm,
correction.
mhm,
This move from this point above the sellers going up is what we call indication. From this point up, we have an indication or an intention. The market is giving us what he has in mind that, okay, above all the sellers here, I will want to be going up. Buyers want to be in charge. The same scenario that he did here, okay, below the buyers, he told us that it will want to be selling. So in the future, if price is to come down here and stay below here, we should be looking to sell. The same scenario is here. Above the sellers, it telling us that it wants to buy. After giving us that indication or intention, it has to do what we call correction or pullback or retracement. Okay, but pay attention and notice that we get into this supply or seller's pull here, price drops down a little bit. We get into it again, it dropped down a little bit. Now we go above it. Above it, now it totally drops. Okay, drops down. Let's see here. Okay, so watch carefully. Watch carefully. For price to move from this exact point, let me put a circle here. For price to move from this area, this point, and go up, what is the meaning of that? It means that buyers came in strongly from this point. Do you all agree with me on that?
yes.
So don't see what I'm teaching you as I'm like, I mean, you might feel I'm using the higher time frame, yes. But
Mhm,
if you go to 5 minutes, 15 minutes, any time frame, this thing is happening. Okay. So This point here, the reason why the market went up here is because buyers stepped in from this point and they pushed the market up. How do I know buyers are really here? I will know because in the future, when price comes there again, buyers should still review themselves. And when price came to this same point, did buyers push it up or not? They did.
You did.
Now, how do I know buyers are still there? Okay, I will know because in the future, when market came to the same place, though it was able to break below the buyers, quickly price went up again. So breaking below the buyers here, right, and going up to the same place means that sellers are now in charge because below the buyers means sellers will take over. It's the same
Mm.
concept. So now that we are below the buyers here, it means sellers want to be in charge from this point and below. But when price pulled back into the same zone, sellers were not able to hold their position. So though they pushed the price down a little bit, they couldn't take it far. They couldn't take it more down. And then price moved up. All these things happening here, I and you don't have control over it. What we know is that at the exact PSR or point where the buyers formerly were in charge, be monitoring price at that same place. But the moment price now went above, we saw that it retested this exact place where the buyers pushed the price up before. And what happened? Boom, the buyers are now in charge again. Is this not the same concept that happened down here where the sellers came below it and it went up and then price stays above and then it went up? Is it not the same thing? Tell me. Is it not the same thing? I'm listening. Guys, is it not the same thing?
It is.
It is. So why would you think this thing is not working? This is we trying to make the thing simple. Okay? Simple. So you might not just get a perfect entry. Maybe you might buy here thinking that um buy here and then it still drop down, you are in loss. But if it really wants to buy, at the end of the day, it came above, retested the same point, and boom, it's going up. So this means that from this point and above, buyers are in charge. They are in charge up to where? Up to the next place, the next area of interest, which is here. And do we see that? Boom, a good move, profit. This is why I was buying Euro USD, GBP USD. Okay, I was buying from this point here, and it went down. It didn't succeed, but the moment it came above you all saw those, um, um, what do you call it? Those setups I was dropping. Boom. So now we have another area here. Sellers were here before. Now buyers are in charge. Miss Uche, please tell me if price stays above this zone, what do you think will happen? If price stays above this zone, what do you think will happen?
The buyers will continue
Buyers are in
buying.
control.
Why? Because sellers were here before and
Mm-hmm.
now they got invalidated and buyers took charge and pushed price up. Then it came below. Sellers took charge from there again here. Sellers took charge again here, okay, and they push price down. Then the buyers that were here have taken charge. Then they've pushed price up to the same place again. Now, sellers are here. So where price is right now, there is a higher likelihood it might drop. Why might it drop? Because sellers are active there. Okay, sellers are here. Sellers are here. Look at the rectangle. But the moment price closes above it, what do you think is going to happen? The buyers are activated. So that's why I said in this concept, the fact that the thing it has put you in loss doesn't mean you are wrong because the same entry is for both a buy and a sell. And sometimes if the buy fails, the sell right now, if this buy picks up, the TP is up. At least TP1 should be up here. And if even price reverses and the sellers take charge from here, it is also going to drop to this same place zone again here before we see another buyers reacting. Do you guys, does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
So if
Yes,
you
it
you are
does.
buying here and it is not working, and you see that, let's say 4 hour, 1 hour, and we'll get to how we will be able to do it top down from the higher time frame to the lower time frame because and that's when we will get to step three. Step three.
I was about asking if
Uh-huh.
top-down analysis works with this
Yes,
concept.
yes, you have to be able to monitor it from top down, okay, to the smaller time, and that will take us to step three, where we want to now find the entry confirmation or entry signal. What do you need to see in order to click buy or sell after all these things that we are learning? And once we do that, and all of you understand, that's all. I don't think I should spend, I mean, I can be going over and over 3 steps. I've turned all these things into 3 steps. One, establish who is in domination. Two, define an area of interest or value. Three, entry confirmation. The moment you grasp this, trading will become simple. At least this will give you a basic understanding of why your trade is not working or why it is working. And you will be able to detect quickly if you are wrong or not wrong. Because for me, the moment I see, let's say this area right now, this is the daily time frame. Let me go to, let's say, 4 hour. Okay. So if I am on the 4 hour time frame and I am inside this zone and I am seeing a head and a shoulder pattern here, why would I be buying again? That is a reversal pattern, or let's say a strong double top, or a morning star forming, or I'm seeing rejections and an engulfing bearish candle. Why should I be buying again? I won't buy. But the moment I see that a bullish candle on 4 hour, or let's say 1 hour, engulfs this area, it means all the sellers here have been crushed again. And therefore, there is a bullish indication to keep going up. So I will find a buy entry to take price to where? To the next place where price stopped. This place here. Okay? This place. This is the next place where price stopped. Sellers came in, that's why they pushed the price down. And here to this point, to sellers were here, that's why they pushed price down. So now I want to see if price will want to get here, what will happen? Are sellers going to push it down again? So you keep looking at it, the highs, the lower highs, the higher highs, the lower highs, the high points. You keep looking at it and refining and monitoring from top to down, higher time frame to lower time frame. and then be using other concepts to support your analysis till you are able to make the money you want to make in a day or maybe whatever, and then you are out. So, with this kind of understanding, I believe that you, even if you don't get to profitability, the market will seem very simple for you. Okay, let me go to 1 hour and see. Look at the 1 hour. Okay, the 1 hour is reacting inside the same zone. See, look at the zone I marked. It's reacting inside. Why did price get here and why did it sell? It's because of that those sellers that are here. That's the reason why there was this reaction. So now, if sellers reacted from here, when price pushed up to the same place, is there not a reaction again? There is a reaction. What if but price now breaks through these sellers? Should we still keep selling? No. We have to look
Mm,
for the next important level, which is the top. Okay, it's not all the area levels or areas that are important, and we will learn about that too. Some are more valid than others, and that's why I started from the higher time frame so that you will be seeing the higher time frame points or levels, and you will only stick to those levels. The lower time frame levels or the ones within, okay, you don't need to pay too much attention to them. It's better you frame the setup from the higher time frames. Okay, good. So any question up to this end, because our we have like 5 minutes left for the meeting to close. I don't want us to spend too much time. We still have tomorrow, we have today is Wednesday, right? Or Thursday?
today is Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
Tuesday.
We have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the last day, Sunday, to keep learning this till everything sinks into your spirit and your mind. Then I will leave you
Amen.
guys alone. I will leave you guys
Really.
alone.
You'll leave us when we start making money on our own.
Yes, I'll leave you alone.
I wish to
Um,
find out if they can be two PSR.
you want to ask what?
If it is possible that we can have more than one PSR.
Definitely. Um,
Okay.
you can have PSR from the like if you look at this PSR is
This one
from the
has to.
higher time frame, the one below here. The internal ones I'm mapping here, they are internal PSRs. You see, these ones I'm mapping here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
if you are on the higher time frame, you might not see them. Okay, so we were on the monthly, right?